Okay, good. Got it.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah. You're my only student in Amarian. Yeah. Okay, so we have even Ras joining us for the practice here in Amara.
Malwa, is the playlist on the Amara Valley Spotify account? What's the playlist called?
No, it's on my personal
okay.
Spotify.
What's the playlist called? Just because otherwise I have to get the link from my phone to my computer. I'm on my computer, so. What's the playlist called? What's the name of it?
But I send it on the WhatsApp. Don't you have a WhatsApp?
Yeah, but then I have to send it from my WhatsApp to my computer. It's complicated. So I've got your Spotify here. What's the?
Yeah, it's called Shiva Flow.
All right, found it. Yeah, found it. Okay.
Just put it on the chat.
I will do it now.
Small tip: if you just look up Malvina, it's normally under her name, so you can find it if you don't have the link. I had the same.
yeah, that's what I've just done. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So did you find it?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
So the first song is Inside. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go. Perfect. Okay. Give me just 1 second. So, yeah, it seems like we're all here. Well, some of us are still working, and they will connect later. But yeah, first of all, like, good afternoon. Oh. Okay. So some of the screens for a moment went dark, but now I can see you again. So maybe you can just come a little bit closer to the camera, the ones that are a bit more far away, like Sarah. Actually, just Sarah. Everyone else is kind of more close. Laura as well. And I would just unmute everyone for a moment. Unmute all. And yeah, I just would like to know first, like a little check-in of how you guys feel, and just to know a little bit on what page you are. And I invite to say something for ones that want to say something. If you feel like you don't want to say something, it's fine as well. Like just a little update, like, yeah, I'm good or I'm not good, or I just ate, or I have a high energy or low energy, or just to know a little bit.
I can start first. I feel like moving.
Who is this?
Since this is Camilla speaking.
Okay, yeah, Camilla.
I feel like moving because since the yoga class this morning, I've been sitting in front of my computer or sitting at the pranayama session, which I had to leave for another work meeting.
Okay, so that's Camilla. Camilla's on the moving vibe. Yeah. Who else is on the moving vibe? Maybe just give me thumbs up. Who has like a moving, like a yes. Perfect.
Happy to move.
Okay. And who is feeling tired? One. Okay, so it's like about, you see, this is crazy. This is like exactly how life goes. So I can be planning a class, and then the reality is that half of the people is tired and the other half is energized. So
I am more frustrated because I wanted to take some time for me, and I had a phone call of an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, or almost an hour and a half, and it was just like somebody sucking my energy.
Right. Okay, so since today we're gonna practice Shiva practice, and for me it's like my favorite god, I have to say. Like if I had to choose one god, I would choose Shiva, and I would just devote myself to Shiva, because it's actually from all the god pantheon in the Hindu philosophy, it's the oldest one, and the first name he had was Rudra, and then it turned into over time into Shiva, And Shiva means nothing, means zero. You know, it's this time of where you realize that just you're one with the absolute, and it can be a moment of, for you, a symbolism of it can be a distraction, but also a representation of something new, to welcome something new that emerges from that space that you destroyed in order to create something new. And there were two kind of like later on in time visualizations or personifications of Shiva. The first one was the blue Shiva that is sitting in meditation. The really like the kind of like a very beautiful, it looks like an avatar in a way, and he's blue and he has Ganges in his hair, he has earrings, he has jewelry, but he's sitting. Yeah, divine sitting Shiva, and he has this hair a bit like Alexandra, like with the piece here and then the other floating down. And so this energy of the Shiva is more static, is more meditative, is dwelling on the existence and just realizing that the only thing that maybe is blocking us from pure enlightenment is the ego. So he destroys the ego. Yeah, and the ego means, for example, desires. It means I'm not happy how I am right now because I want to do better, or I want to be better, or there is something external, or that we're just not satisfied with how things are at the present moment. And so we're all in the past, living the past, or projecting for the future. But it's really difficult to just be in the moment. Also because right now there is such a high for being in the moment. And so then you feel like on top of it, when you want to be in the moment, you need to do something. So it's almost like you already, again, in a little trap of the ego playing with you and saying, you cannot just rest. You know, it's so difficult for us, especially for our society, to just rest and feel that because you're resting, you're already fine. You're already doing enough. So this rest, instead of restlessness, the restfulness is something where he's just sitting there and he's resting within himself, within being in the pure awareness. So I like that now half of us is maybe that sitting Shiva. And then we have the other half of the group where there is the Nataraja, the Shiva, the dancer, the cosmic dancer. And so maybe you saw the figure of Nataraja, where he has like 4 arms, different things in each arm. He's dancing in this beautiful ring of fire, and he's dancing on top of a dwarf. Have you ever seen this figure, the Nataraja cosmic dancer? Does it like ring a bell? Yeah. So both of the Shiva personifications are valid. Oh, perfect. Laura has it. Yes. Great. And so you can see that the ring of fire is there. And in the sitting Shiva as well, there is a fire. He's holding a fire. So the fire is always present in Shiva, and the fire and the water. So the elements are there. The first one, the sitting Shiva, is blue, and he's there's beautiful stories, and he basically just like had to swallow the whole ocean in order to take the sacrifice. So he became blue. That's the sitting one. And then the dancer, he has the flame of Agni in one of his arms and on the palm of the hand. So that fire is there in order to remind us that fire is a transformation. So we burn things, like for example, in India, in Varanasi, they burn the bodies to then convert them back to ash, right? And this is something that we want to also experience through our practice. So our practice encourages us as yogis to create that Agni inside ourselves so that we can burn the impurities of our mind, body, and then through this kind of like a yogic cleanse, we can become more and more purified and in tune with the oneness or with the clarity of the vision in order to become more aware. in the state of awareness and in the state of being in the present moment. Because if we're not contaminating the present moment with the past experiences or with the future, projecting the future, then we can actually experience the present moment, and we can allow the magic and the creativity of the moment to arise and to emerge. If we constantly plan something, or we have an idea about the present moment because based on our past experience, we're not really open fully to the magic of the present moment. We're already kind of like knowing what's the answer, you know? So it's really difficult to be in that state because of our minds, basically. So each one of us is our own, in a way, enemy because of things that we inherited through our life. And as it says sometimes, the hardest thing is to go back to zero, you know, to unclutter all of the things that we're carrying with us in our backpack of life, and to just become again like a reborn. And Shiva is this god that is there for us in order to symbolize that. It's the moment when we say, okay, I'm ready now to go on the path. And today in the morning we did the beautiful practice of Carlotta with invoking as well Ganesh, who's the son of Shiva, and removing those obstacles from our path. And you can see it in the practice, in, for example, physical body, where you feel that there is an obstacle, or where you feel the breath that it can't flow just naturally, so that when you do this kind of practice, then after some time your body is open, you feel stable, and then the best kind of finish of the practice is the meditation, where you just feel that your body is completely open and you can just drop into the meditation and become one with the universe. Of course, it's very difficult to become one with the universe when you have back pain, knee pain, shoulder tense, and on top of it, you feel you can't really breathe into your body. That's why the practice is a physical practice that encourages to feel better and better in your own tempo, okay? So the practice that I would like to offer today, it will be a kind of a little bit of a mix between this sitting Shiva and between the moving Shiva. So we're going to find a rhythm that suits everyone. And then also I will give different variations and step-by-step transitions. So you can choose how you want to volume your practice. If you want to go full volume, if you want to go medium, or if you want to stay more on the kind of a basic rhythm, okay? And each frequency is perfect, because finally what we're just looking for is to be without any inner space or no frequency, no fluctuation, you know, just stillness of the mind. So yeah, let's go for that. And we'll touch base on all these different elements from Nataraja to Shiva, okay? So now find your belt. If you don't know, I said in the chat to have a belt or a scarf if you don't have a belt next to you. And maybe already take your jumpers or sweatshirts off, or whatever that you need to do, so you can forget about it throughout the practice. And we're gonna also start our playlist. So let's count. I count to 3, and when I say 3, then we press play, okay? So 1, 2, 3. And so find a comfortable position on your mat now. Just take a moment to sit in any pose that is good for you. So you can sit cross-legged or in Virasana. And lean a little bit more into your back body. So as if you wanted to just imagine something very cozy hugging you from the back, and lean into that. So allow your shoulders to release into your sitting bones, your knees to drop down towards your feet, and just gently encourage your feet to be a bit more present. Maybe separate your toes, feel the space between your toes opening, feel the soles of your feet being a bit more spacious, and widen the space between the big toe and the mount of the big toe, between the big toe and the small pinky toe. Relax your ankles, your knees. Allow your whole pelvis to just grow roots, like it's rooting into the ground with your feet and your legs. Then start to travel through your navel, relaxing your lower belly, your organs. And again, lean just a little bit more back, so really shifting the weight of your shoulders over your hips. And place the palms of your hands facing up so that you can rest your wrists onto your knees. And allow your palms to be open. Here again, feeling the space between your fingers. And feeling the very center of the palm of your hand. And as if you had eyes on your palms of your hands. If you can open the skin of your hands just a little bit more as a gesture of being ready to receive the knowledge of this practice. And then open gently the space between your elbows, the inner side, the eyes of the elbows. And then also around your armpits. So feeling the armpits opening, shoulders releasing down, away from the ears. And then elongate a little bit more the back of your neck, but then again, lean a little bit more back of your head. And really start to pay more attention to the back of the neck, the back of your head, the space behind your ears. And then start to grow a little bit taller. So rooting from the sitting bones, start to gently encourage your spine to rise up. And you can feel your chest, your heart starting to lift. But see if you can make it so effortless that you just feel like you're gently lifting yourself up towards the sky. Like you want to float up a few centimeters above the ground. Relax your eyes. And then focus for a moment, bring your awareness to your third eye area. So one thing about this god Shiva is that he has an open third eye. And it's the symbol of being connected to the clear vision, to see beyond what the ego wants to see, to reveal the truth, to be courageous, so just directing your eyes towards the center of your forehead. Breathing into that space so you can feel the breath traveling there and expanding the forehead. Relax the eyebrows. And then feel your hairline and relax this whole area. Now feel the crown of your head and open the very, very top of the crown of the head. And now from here, we're slowly going to bring the palms of our hands together. But as you start to approach the hands to come together, feel your right hand and imagine that the left hand is the hand of someone else. So just observe how you approach the left hand, what a quality of your own touch you transmit. And as your hands meet, feel them expanding and opening one to the other. And see if you can lift your heart and open it just a little bit more towards the thumbs and lifting the thumbs up. And then for today's practice, I invite you to think of one thing, just one thing, that you would like to sacrifice today on this altar of our practice. Anything that maybe is in your life or you know already about yourself that doesn't really serve who you are. And maybe without that quality, you could be more free, more liberated. You could be more living in the love or in the truth. And in both of them. And here inside yourself, what is that thing? Catch it, crystallize it, and then hold it in your mind's eye. And gently bow your head towards your heart. And release your hands into your knees. Open the eyes. And we start from child's pose, shifting the weight forward and bring the big toes together, knees apart. And then sit low with your hips onto your heels. Stretch your arms forward. Relax your forehead on the floor and just stretching your arms forward, lengthening the spine. You take this first moment as a prostration to the earth, allowing the weight of the head to release onto the ground. And again, connecting now the third eye with the earth. Stretch all of your fingers, spread your toes, press the tops of your feet into the floor and feel your sacrum opening. And then breathe a little bit deeper to the base of your pelvis. On the next in-breath, pull gently with your hands to the floor and start to come forward into a force. Separating your knees just under your sit bones. Look at your hands and make sure all the fingers are spread and the inner sides of your elbows, so this part is facing forward. Expand through your collarbones and then start to lift your tailbone up, curve your lower back, pull with your hands, open your chest, and then slowly open the throat and look up. Contracting all the muscles of your back, opening the front. Then from the tailbone, start to guide the movement into a spinal flexion, rounding the spine, bring the chin to your chest, press through your hands, and separate the shoulder blades as much as you can. Again, start from the tailbone, lift tailbone up, curve lower back, open the upper back, pull with your hands, open the chest, open the throat, look up. On the exhale, press the floor through bringing the front body to back body, opening all the way to the back, chin to chest, opening through the neck. Then one more time, inhaling, lifting tailbone up, curving lower back, opening the heart, pull the shoulders back, and then open the chest. and then coming back to neutral. So we just did flexion, extension. Now we're gonna bring it a little bit more into the flow. So bring the knees a bit more back under your sit bones. Keep your toes tucked in, and then come forward, rounding the spine, shifting the weight forward. When you come all the way to the limit, then open the chest, then curve the lower back and start to send the hips back towards your feet. Again, rounding the spine forward. Once you reach the end of the inhale, open the chest and send the sitting bones back. Again, from the tailbone, rounding all the way to the crown of the head, then opening the throat, opening the chest, round, opening through the lower back, and then rounding back. One more time. Come forward, waving the spine, opening, and going back. Okay, now we're going to reverse the movement. So come onto all fours, then micro bend your elbows, open the chest, come forward between the shoulder blades, then start to round through the upper back, round through the lower back, coming back. Look forward, micro bend the elbows, open the chest, then press, round through the upper back, round through the lower back, going back. So we do reverse undulation of the spine. This time, this one that we do now, it's sometimes a little bit more difficult to understand, but we're going to practice it also in downward facing dog. So this time, start again from extension and then pressing into an flexion and pressing back. Super. And now come forward into a neutral and try to bring your chest between your hands, but hover 1 millimeter above the floor. So you're almost touching the ground with your chest. Pause here for a moment. Press back up. Round the spine, curl the tailbone towards the pubic bone, look into your belly. Then again, open the chest. Now try to keep the lower back curved into a flexion, but then bring the chest, hover above the floor 1 millimeter. Now extend your feet, so tops of the feet pressing to the ground. Now pull the tailbone towards the pubic bone, round the lower back, and then start to open the chest into a cobra. Pull with your hands the floor like you want to rip the floor towards your feet. Press through the feet into the floor. Hug the inner ankles one towards the other. Roll the shoulders back, neck long. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes in. Now round your lower back and start to press to come back. Child's pose, active child's pose. Toes tucked in. Ripple forward into an all four. Then again, bring the chest to hover above the floor 1 millimeter. Extend your feet on the ground. Press through the feet. Tuck your tailbone towards the pubic bone. And then from here, open cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck toes in. Belly towards the spine. Press. Back. Child's pose. On the inhale, wave yourself forward into all fours. And again, hover above the floor, chest just 1 centimeter above the floor. Extend through the feet, press through the feet, tailbone towards the pubic bone, open cobra. Then exhale, release the cobra down, lift the right leg up. From here, bring the right leg back behind you, like you want to just touch the floor with your toe. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, and then roll. Just touch tiptoe to the floor. Inhale, coming back. Again, repeat now. Separate your arms to the sides in T position. Lift the right leg up, inhale. Then open, and then from here, turn. Keep your head on the floor, and just take a nice and deep breath here into your back body, into the front body. Beautiful. Coming back to the center. Keep the arms in the T position, lift the left leg up, bend the knee, and then open the hip and turn. Head relaxed on the floor as you twist. Again, breathing deep to the front, to the back. And on the next inhale, roll back, come back to center. Placing your hands close to your chest, roll the shoulders back, pin the elbows towards each other, tuck in your toes, now belly towards the spine, and coming up to the, bringing sitting bones back to the heels. Now look forward. From here, bring the pubic bone towards the sternum, round forward. Now micro bend your elbows and allow your hips to draw down. From here, keep your toes tucked in, roll your shoulders back, and then lift your knees off the floor and open into a flying dog. From here, bring the navel towards the spine, round through the shoulder blades, and then press back, downward facing dog. And then from here, we're gonna do a few more waves again. So lift your heels up, wave yourself forward into a plank, keeping the spine round. Once you get to your limit, then open the chest, bend your knees, bend your elbows, and press back into the dog. Again, lift the heels up, draw the pubic bone towards your sternum, shift the way forward so much you just feel it in your fingertips. And then from here, open the shoulder blades through the front, bend the elbows, bend the knees, pressing back. One last time, come forward into a plank, rounding the spine, then open the chest, pull shoulder blades back together, bend the elbows, bend the knees, press back. Okay, now look forward between your hands, and we're gonna reverse the undulation. So from here, micro bend your knees, micro bend your elbows, open the chest, come forward, as close to the floor as for you is accessible today. Then round the upper back, round the lower back, press back into the dog. Look forward, bend the knees, bend the elbows, slide between your hands, and then round the upper back, round the lower back, and press back. One last time, maybe this time going a little bit deeper, bending the knees, bending the elbows, almost sliding to touch the floor with your heart. Then pressing through the upper back, pressing through the lower back, and then we arrive, downward facing dog. Bend one knee, stretch the other leg a few times. Relax the head completely. Great, now lift your both heels up on the in-breath. Now bring the heels to your left side and bend your knees. Almost like you want to sit on the ground. Keep your head relaxed. Keep looking into your navel and just breathe here into your right side body. On the in-breath, coming back to the center, pivot on the ball of the big toe. On the exhale, turn your heels to the other side, bend the knees, almost going down. Stick your tailbone all the way up, spread your sitting bones, relax your head, and just breathe here to your left side body. Feeling the stretch all the way, trying to create more line between your hand, left hand, and your left hip. Inhale, coming back to center. And then exhale, try to bring both heels down towards the floor, or all the way almost to touch the ground. Lift the arches of your feet up, bend your knees. So keeping the heels on the floor, if you can, or close to the floor, but keep your knees micro bent. Stay here, charge through the legs, and now press all the floor through your hands, through your feet. Lift the arches of your feet up, lift your wrists away from the ground, so you're not just collapsing onto the wrist. Absorb them up away from the ground, and bring more presence into the palm of your hand. Now spread your sitting bones wide, and then push your inner thighs in like you have a block between your legs that you want to fire up and back, so you create more space between your thighs. And from there, extend through the tailbone all the way down towards your heels, lengthen your whole spine, relax your head. And maybe you can start to feel the heat already building up in the back body, through the back of the legs. Keep that, and then slowly, very slowly, start to lift your right foot off the ground. Just a few millimeters and step it a little bit more forward. As you press your feet into the floor and you walk forward, imagine you're placing your feet into the mud. So you really want to feel the mud spreading between your toes. So spread your toes and then press the feet into the floor as you walk forward. And enjoy this walk. So as you walk forward, you're still opening and like you're massaging your feet against the ground. Then bend your knees. When you arrive, separate your feet as wide as your hands, so place them behind your wrist. And then bring the fingertips to the floor just in front of your feet. Now, bend your knees and press them away from each other so you have more space, more buoyancy through the legs. Now lift your feet, your toes up. Spread them as much as you can. And now just bring your big toe down and your little toe down. Try that. Really focus on connecting through your feet. Just the big one and the little one down. All the other three are lifted. And now switch. Try to lower the three that were in the middle. Lift the big one and the small one. Good. Wow, good, Rusty. Okay, and then spread all of your toes and position them on the floor. Keep separating your knees. And then from here, allow your belly to just drop and droop between your thighs. Grab the opposite elbow and just hang here for a few breaths, allowing your brain to release completely towards the ground. And you can also make some movements, gentle movements with your head, maybe saying yes, no, the head, maybe like a pendulum, moving your trunk a bit, or maybe just being in the pose and exploring the pose with the breath. Super. And then slowly release your arms and stretch your arms forward like in downward facing dog, but keep the legs of Uttanasana. And then from here, explore how much can you open your chest. So use your fingertips to pull with the fingertips the floor towards your feet. Roll the shoulders back and then open the chest and lengthen the back of the neck. Open your heart and maybe separate your knees even a bit more so you feel the opening through the lower back, through the upper back. And then relax the head completely. Beautiful. Take a few breaths here, opening your chest. Close your eyes and just feel your fingertips, feel your feet. Lift the arches of your feet up. And then on the exhale, release the arms. Maybe go a little bit deeper with the forward flexion. And then press through your feet. And scoop your tailbone towards your feet, towards your heels, as you slowly start to roll up. One vertebra at a time. Roll your shoulders towards your ears, tense for a moment, and then roll them back and open the chest. So the tailbone, allow it to drop towards your feet as we practice. Oh, I have no head now. Okay. I've done my feet here. Perfect. So then from here, allow the tailbone to drop towards the floor, roll the shoulders back, and then open the chest. But be careful. So sometimes when we roll the shoulders and pull them back, we close too much through the back of the heart and too much open. So find a balance that you feel that you're spreading between the shoulder blades, but you're also opening in the front. And then lengthen your fingertips towards the floor. And just take a moment to be here in this Tadasana position, the mountain pose. So feel your fingertips lengthening all the way towards the ground. Feel your feet grounding and your whole figure, your whole posture lifting from the pressure of the feet into the floor. Tadasana is the, one meaning is the mountain and the other is also pressure. So the more pressure we're gonna give to our feet, the more we can lift up into the sky. And then from here, opening the eyes, bring the hands towards your navel. From the navel, expand and open. And on the exhale, bring in the energy into the belly. On the in-breath, expand. On the exhale, bring in. Few more of those, so that all the cells of the body starting to dance to the same rhythm of the breath. So that every movement is an invitation for the breath to go in, to float in effortlessly. Bring the arms down, and then on the in-breath, lift up. And here, trying to move your spine more and more like a snake. So snake represents in the Shiva, the Kundalini energy, the Kundalini awakening. and piercing all of the chakras, traveling to the third eye. So we'll also incorporate that in our practice. One last time. Great. And then from here, flex the spine, roll the wrist, lift the heels up. Stay here if you feel this is the pose for today, or bend the knees, go deeper. Keep pressing the space between the shoulder blades in order to open, lower the heels. From the core, unfold and open into an extension. Press sitting bones forward, open all the way to the wrist. Stay here, opening the throat, push sitting bones forward as you go down, and then come up. Lower down. Ripple through the center. Push your armpits forward, lift the heels, stay here or bend the knees. Coming up. And lower. Opening the side body, elbow overhead. Spread the shoulder blades apart, separate the arms, shift the weight to the side, open like a crescent moon. Relax the neck, open the throat. Coming back through the center on the flexion, rippling up. Exhale, release. Other arm overhead. Separate the shoulder blades, pull them apart actively, then arms, then shift the weight. Tailbone towards the heel, breathe into your belly, open, look up, relax the neck. On the flexion, coming back to the center. Exhale, release. Look forward, twist to one side, keep your hips facing forward, and then as you twist, open, expand all the way to your wrist, the back of the neck. See if you can go a little bit deeper. And then bend the knees, press sitting bones forward, round the lower back, coming back to the center, opening to an extension. On the flexion, twist other way. And then once you feel the twist, keep making sure that the hips are facing forward, and then expand, open. Open the wrist, open the neck, push the shoulder blades apart, press through the feet. Now bend the knees, sitting bones to pubic bone, close on the flexion, open, ripple into an extension. Back of the hands together. In breath all the way up. And then on the exhale, start to come down slowly in a swan dive, bringing the fingertips to the floor, keep the heels lifted. Take a moment here just to feel again the floor through the fingers, through the feet, and then lower the heels. Shift the weight to your left foot and just hover the right foot off the ground. Spread the toes in the right foot, and then start to extend the right leg back. And again here, make sure you can feel your foot. So spread the toes, extend through the heel, whole leg is active. And now start to bend your left leg so much so you feel the right foot is coming to the floor, but it's because the left leg is bending. So create fire through the left leg, and then very slowly lower it down to the floor. Bring the knee to the ground, and now pull your front foot to the back foot, like you're trying to do this with your mat, okay? And from here, through the pubic bone, through the Muladhara, come up into a low lunge. Now, instead of going back, see if you can go up, like you wanna come all the way up away from your feet, through your trunk. And then bring the arms into the cactus, pull the shoulder blades back behind, open the chest, and then from here, keep the front foot on the floor as you semi-extend the front leg, and then bring your heart forward towards the ground. Now press through your back foot, shift the weight forward, and come up, stretching the back leg into a low lunge, a high lunge. Open the chest, pull the shoulder blades back even more, and then lean a little bit more back into a back arch. Keep the back leg straight. On the exhale, slowly bring the fingertips to the floor, next to your front foot. Look forward on the in-breath, and then extend, if you can, the front leg and fall forward, forehead towards your shin bone. Keeping the back heel away from the floor. Now, round the spine, hug the front body to back body, look forward, or lift the front foot, just the top of the foot off the floor, or if you can, the whole foot plugs in towards the hip and you lift it off the ground, and then glide it back into downward facing dog. Fingers, hands on the ground, lift the heels up, Wave yourself forward into plank. Now bring the knees to the floor. Bring the chest close to the ground. Extend your feet on the floor. Tailbone to the pubic bone, and then open Cobra. Inhale here. And slowly on the exhale, lower down. Lift the right leg up, and then from here, bring back, and then slowly lift up. So press through your hands. From here, extend the left hand in the front, and then lift the right leg up. Just on its own, just like that. Spread the toes. Try to lift it a little bit higher if you can. And then from here, start to bend the knee. And almost, see if you can bring the foot all the way inside the thigh without using your hands. So really squeeze the heel towards the thigh. Beautiful. Bend the back leg. So in this position. And then from here, press to your left arm. And then open, lift the hip up. Bring the right arm overhead. And take a nice and deep breath here. On the exhale, slowly lower the hip to the floor. Extend the bottom leg to straight forward. And then keeping the foot inside the thigh, roll towards the Cobra. And then open the legs to the side. Pull your shoulder blades back, open the chest. Press through your extended leg into the floor. Breathe into your hip, breathe into your chest. Roll the shoulders back. Make a semicircle with your neck. Look behind you towards your back foot. Come back through the middle. Look to the other side. And then slowly on the exhale, lower down. Bring the foot back into the thigh. Bring the back toes to the floor. And then press here to come up. Or any way that is possible for you to come up into one-legged downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg all the way up. Bring the knee towards your forehead, round the spine, and then count to 3 to bring the foot to the floor next to your thumb. 1, 2, and 3. Bring the arms back, sitting bones forward, make a big circle, open the chest, and then slowly on the exhale, shift the weight forward, lift the back leg off the floor. Open the arms to the sides, palms facing away from the chest. Extend the back leg, stretch all the way forward and back. And then bring the knee to the chest. Bring the hands towards the chest and slowly extend the leg forward, extend the palms face up. Bring the arms up, hover the foot above the floor, start to bring it back and then make cactus arms. Pull all the back muscles back and then slowly start to lift the back leg up. Bring the knee to the chest, hug towards the front body, interlock your fingers onto your shin bone, and then press your shin bone into your hands, hands into the shin bone, and slowly release. Flexion of the spine, extension, lengthen, and on the exhale, dive all the way down. Fingertips on the floor, forehead towards the knee. Inhale, look forward, lengthen, open the chest, activate the legs, and then exhale, release again. Shift the weight now to your right foot and hover the left foot off the ground. Like you want to plug the left femur bone inside the hip socket. Extend the left leg back. Look at your foot, make sure you can spread your toes, you can extend your heel, and then start to bend your right leg so much so you feel that the left foot is landing on the ground, but only because the right leg is bending. And then once you touch the ground, step back. Bring the knee to the floor, pull the front leg towards the back leg, and then from here, lift into a low lunge. Open the chest, lift up, pull the legs, one to the other. And then open the arms in cactus, pull the shoulders back, charge through the back body, start to extend the front leg, keep the foot on the floor, so the knee doesn't have to be straight. And then from here, start to bring the heart forward, and then press through the back leg to lift. Push sitting bones forward, And then see if you can go a little bit deeper into this position, like bringing your back body into contraction, front body into an expansion. Lower the hips, open the chest. Look up, open the throat. Lower the hips a bit more. And then bring the hands down, fingertips sprinkle next to your front foot. Look forward, inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, open the elbows to the side, fold in, forehead towards the front shin. Then from here, prepare, round the spine, hug the front body to back body, and now try to pull the front leg to the back leg. Maybe then this is gonna make it easier, and try to lift the front foot off the floor. Spread the toes, and then start to glide the leg back, downward facing dog. Hands on the floor. On the in-breath, come forward into a plank. Bring the knees to the floor. Bend the elbows, chest hovers above the ground. Extend the feet, pubic bone to tailbone to pubic bone to the sternum, open the chest. Then lift the left leg up and bring behind. Bring the right arm a little bit more to the front, and then start to bring the right shoulder towards your ear, so you really open to the right side. Lift the left leg up. Spread the toes. See if you can lift it a little bit higher. Yes, and try not to use your hand. Now bend the knee, and very slowly start to bring the foot inside your thigh. Press your heel into your thigh muscle. Yes, and then bend the back leg, the extended leg. Yes. Now prepare. Press through your hand, press through your knee, and then on the inhale, lift up and open. See if you can bring your arm overhead, and then see if you can rotate your chest to look up towards the sky. And slowly on the exhale, start to come back. Extend your right leg. Keep the foot inside the thigh. Bring the hands back to the floor. Roll back to the center of your mat. And then open the legs to the side into this cobra. You can bring your hands forward or more closer. Open the chest, pull the shoulder blades back, extend through the feet. So the back foot very active, pressing to the floor. Make a semicircle with your head, look behind, spread the toes, coming back through the middle, chin to chest, looking behind the other shoulder. Back leg, strong like the snake tail. Inhale, coming back. Now wiggle the foot inside the thigh, tuck in the toes, open the chest, and then from here, from the navel, pull back. Extend the leg all the way back, one-legged downward dog. And then from here, start to bring the knee to your nose, round the spine, stay for 3, 2, and 1. Position the heel next to your thumb. Pull the legs one to the other, sitting bones forward. Bring the arms all the way back, open the front body, and then hug the front body to back body, shift the weight forward to feel connected to your core, and then start to expand. Open the arms to the side, palms face away from the chest, tailbone towards the back heel, lift the back leg as much as you can up, but without crouching in the lower back. Then bring the knee towards your core, palms towards the chest, and then from the heart, expand and open forward. Look forward, spread the toes, charge through the big toe in your standing leg, and then from here, lift the arms up, hover the foot above the floor, make yourself super long, bring the arms to the sides in cactus, pull the muscles of the back body, and then open again. Exhale, bring the knee towards the chest, change the interlock of your fingers, press knee, legs in, leg into the hands, hands into the legs. One is pressing, one is pulling. Exhale, release. Flexion, extension, lengthening. Few more of those. Turn to your right, same movement. Now just close your eyes and feel a bit more the undercurrent of this movement. Turn to the other side. Just take a moment now to massage the body from the inside using the heat, the openness that we created. Flexion, extension, side twist, opening. And you can do this movement bigger or smaller. Great. And then slowly coming back to neutral. Back of the hands come together. Breathe in through the center. And exhale, release. Take the belt. And so we're going to go a little bit deeper into the opening. So make the belt to be more or less separation a little bit wider than your shoulders. Okay? Great. And then from here, try to bring the arms back behind you without bending the elbows. And pay attention that your tailbone doesn't stick up. So try to root it down. You can bend your knees if you need to, but make sure your tailbone is really landing down towards your heels. And then try to keep your elbows straight. Bring the arms back and forward. And if you feel like there is any funky elbow that starts to bend, maybe you need to open the belt a little bit more. But see if you can keep the elbows more or less straight. Let's do it one more time and then find that point of difficulty. So the place where it's hard to keep, stay there for a moment. Just take a few breaths here, really pulling the strap with your hands. And just taking here a few breaths. Coming back. And then from here, going to the side opening, shift the weight to one side. And stretching the belt here, opening the side. Coming back through the center. Other side. Breathing into the side body, coming back. Ground the feet, open. And then from here, tailbone towards the heels, twist. So you can, with your eyes, twist as well, with your whole head. So keep pressing your hips forward, especially the direction where you're twisting, try to press that hip forward. So your hips are twisting the opposite way than your trunk. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale and twist other way. And again, try to press the hip where you're turning to the front and then twist back. So your right hip needs to be pressing forward, 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 more forward. Yes, yes. Keep your hips like this and now twist, but without twisting your hips. And start to feel this heat coming up through the whole body. Twist with your eyes and then inhale, coming back to center. Bring your arms back. Come to the front of your mat if you're not. And then press your sitting bones down, bend your knees. Slowly start to go into forward flexion. Bringing your forehead towards your knees. Opening your chest. Bend your knees. Buoyancy through the legs. Look forward. Start to lift now your right knee towards your chest. And then extend the right leg all the way back. Take a moment here. Spread your arms, spread your toes, look forward. And then start to bend the left leg so much so the right foot touches the floor. Bring the knee to the ground. Then open, look up, low lunge. Pull the legs one to the other. And then bring the hands back. Slowly leaning forward. Front foot on the floor. And then use the legs to come up. And then open the chest, push the sitting bones forward, open here into the warrior pose, but the back leg is straight, heel off the ground. Beautiful. And then from here, back heel to the floor, arms Open to the side and up. Bend the front leg 90 degrees. We have warrior legs. Look forward to a deep inhale. So now like we're holding a trident of Shiva, the warrior pose. And slowly from here, reverse the warrior. Opening the chest, pull the shoulders back, lower the hips. Look down on the back foot or forward, wherever is better for the neck, wherever you feel more natural. Good, and then on the inhale, come back to center, lift the back heel up, and then start to shift the weight forward. Bring the arms back, pull the shoulder blades together, warrior three, extend the back leg. Bend the front knee a little bit for buoyancy, and then slowly start to bring the knee towards the chest. Arms up. A deep inhale here, and then extend the right leg forward. Take 2 breaths here. Pull the hands on the pull of the belt to open the chest. And then slowly release. Okay, so from here, we're gonna make, we're gonna bring this belt behind the foot, so where the ankle is, and then between the toes. So you're making like a sandaya, like a flip-flop with your belt. You see this? So it's going behind the ankle and between the big toe. Yeah? I think you can also do it when you have a scarf. And then from here, bring your hand back, bend a little bit the standing leg, and slowly start to bring your leg back, and then help yourself with your arms. So you need to rotate your shoulder, and then start your journey. So you might be here, and that's already enough if you feel for today, or maybe lifting the leg up and then kick with your leg away, and see if you can escalate and walk with your hands more and more towards your foot. To open the shoulder, press now with your hands, with your foot into the belt, and start to pull with your hands. So both of this to open and lengthen through the chest all the way to the crown of the head, opening the throat, and maybe if you can extend the standing leg. Nataraja. Keep opening. Feel the grounding of the standing leg that sustains you, the opening of the chest. Look forward, center your vision, your drishti, on one point. Beautiful. Bend the standing leg to come out, and then slowly start to release. Coming back with the belt in the original size. Keep your feet separate, hip-width apart. Inhale, lift, and open. And again, going a little bit more to that space that is harder to hold. Close your eyes here, just take a few breaths. Keep sinking deeper with the sitting bones towards your feet. Lift the arches of the feet up, spread the toes. And then slowly on, bending your knees, start to go into a forward flexion. Keeping your arms behind, head towards the knees. Now, shift the weight towards your right foot. Lift the left knee towards your chest. And then from here, extend the left leg back, chest forward, look forward. Very slowly, start to bend the standing leg and travel to bring your foot to the floor. Knee to the floor, low lunge. Lengthen, open, look up. Pull the front leg to the back leg. And then bring the arms back, shifting the weight towards your back foot, stretching the front leg, foot on the floor, slide your heart forward, and then press through the feet to come up. Sitting bones forward, open the chest, And see if you can hear. Bring a little bit lower the hip. Open the front body, pull with your hands the strap, and open the whole front. Lower the hips a bit more, and then back heel slowly to the ground. Anchor your tailbone, then lift your arms overhead, bend the front knee, look forward. Warrior. You can imagine as if it was a bow in your arms, or a sword with which you cut through the mist of ignorance. Root the tailbone down through your feet, and then from here, reverse. Opening the side body even deeper, lowering the hips, looking up or down onto your back foot. On the next in breath, press through the feet, come back. Rotate now to your back heel. Keep pushing your sitting bones forward. Bring the arms back, and then hug the front body to back body. Shift the weight forward, and start to lift the back leg. Keep extending your tailbone towards your back heel, and then open your chest here, warrior 3. Keep bringing the heart forward, and then bring the knee towards the chest, arms overhead, and then keep the arms overhead, charge through the standing leg, and on the exhale, press your left foot forward. Spread your toes, extend all the way through the heel. If you can, extend the standing leg as well. Last breath. And slowly lower down. Bring the belt behind your ankle and between your toes. So make the yogic flip-flop. Very low cost. Okay? And then from here, start first with the bending legs. So bend the legs. Use the back foot to spread the toes, even if it's not very comfortable between the big toe and the second toe. See if you can press with your foot into the strap as you start to walk your hands back on the strap. And then finally, if you feel like you reached your moment, then start to kick. Kick with your leg into the strap. Pull with your hands, and then maybe extend the standing leg. Look forward, open the chest, Nataraja, the dancer's pose. Heart open, the courage, legs active, the stability of the earth, and then the fire to transform. And very slowly, bend the standing leg first. Start to release. And coming out of the pose. Now releasing the strap. Say goodbye to the strap. It was a good friend, the strap, but we don't need it anymore. And now enjoy the freedom. Opening the side body. Just gentle movements. You probably feel a lot of energy tickling through the whole body. Close the eyes and flow with any sensations that you can feel right now. Beautiful. And then we're just gonna flow through the sequence together. So flexion of the spine, extension, open, lengthen, back of the hands together, through the middle, inhale, exhale. Side body opening, bring the weight to the side, breathe. On the flexion, return, Open through the other side. Come back. On the flexion, twist, and then open. Come back. Expand. Flexion, twist other way. Open. Come back. Flex. And then slowly bring the fingertips to the floor. Open your feet 45 degrees to the side. Look forward and very slowly start to bend your knees. And here we're gonna go counting to super slow 10 down to the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Use your hands or allow the hands to sit down. Legs bent or extended, Navasana. Open the chest, hands facing up. If you are menstruating, please bring your feet to the floor and just relax for a moment. If you can, keep the legs in the air. Keep raising the arms, the chest up and palms facing up. And then slowly bring the soles of the feet together. Keep the feet in the air. Interlock your fingers onto your feet. And then first, before we bring the chest down, we're gonna create even more fire between the legs. So from here, lift the knees up and try to bring them towards each other as you press your elbows into your knees. So the legs are trying to do this, but the arms are pressing down. Keep doing that. So like you're trying to bring the water to boil. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Press one into the other. And then slowly on the exhale, release and melt. Going into the pose. Bringing your belly, your chest, your head down. And it doesn't matter how deep you go, but what matters is how integrated can you stay in the position. So the breath, the actions, shoulders back, chest open, rounding through the lower back, sitting bones, rooting to the floor, knees active, squeeze the knees, press the four corners of the feet one into the other, relax the back of the jaw. And the more integration you can keep through the pose and through the practice, the more the body can open to you. And then before coming out, first take a deep inhale into the belly, make a belly big like a balloon. Then look forward. Keep rooting the sitting bones as you come up. Extend the legs forward. And then breathe into your lower back. Breathe into your upper back. Arms up. Lengthen the spine. And then start to bring the hands forward. Place them on the floor. Look at your feet. Bring the shoulders back. So like you're pulling the floor with your hands. Glue the inner ankles together. Spread the toes. And then if you want, start to go a little bit deeper. Bringing the crown of the head towards your feet. With your hands pulling the floor towards the hips will help you to bring the chest more forward and shoulders more back. Keep pressing with your heels into the floor like you want to pull them towards your hips. And see if you can here separate your sitting bones. So apply inner rotation of your thighs, expand through the lower back, and then lengthen the upper back, lengthen the back of the neck. And see if you can reach the crown of the head even a bit closer to your feet. But then check again if your feet are active. So making this kind of circles with scanning the body, educating the body to stay in the position so that you can breathe into these new spaces in the body. And then very slowly, first inhaling into the belly, looking forward, press sitting bones down and come up. And then pressing the heels into the floor, stretch your arms forward, and very slowly, one vertebra at a time, start to lower down to the floor. Place your heels close to your sitting bones so that you can feel your feet with your fingertips, and then start to lift your hips up. We'll just do a nice bridge to open. So interlock your fingers under your sacrum, pull the shoulder blades together to puff your heart even more forward and up. And then from here, if you can keep the wrists to touch, open the chest so that your chest, if you press your feet into the floor, your heels into the floor, try to bring your chest closer to your chin and then up. And then see if you can use your feet more rather than your glutes or your assets. So make sure that the buttocks are relaxed and that the legs, the inner thighs are more active, the feet are more active. You take really abundant breaths here in order to open the whole front body, release the organs, and then slowly release your hands and lower yourself down to the floor. Open your arms to the sides and just allow your legs to flop from one side to another. A few times, just releasing the lower back. Okay, and then extend the legs forward. Bring the right leg up. Interlock your fingers behind your calf muscle. Spread the toes. And then again here, press your hands into your leg and the leg into the hands. And then see if you can draw the leg a bit more closer towards your chest. But at the same time, keep pressing it so that your leg is still active. And in order to lengthen the back of the leg, the front of the leg needs to stay active. Otherwise, you can invite the injury if you're just stretching, but we need to stay active meanwhile we stretch. And then from here, grab the big toe with your right hand and start to open the leg to the side, but place the left hand onto your left thigh and press the left thigh down so that it stays down towards the ground. See if you can open the right foot all the way to the side and the right leg. And then on the in-breath, come back to center. And now with your left hand, grab the outside of your right foot, so the other edge of the foot. And then from here, just go into a soft twist, not all the way down, just a bit to the side so you feel the back of your leg stretching, especially that line on the outside of the leg. Taking a deep breath here, spreading the toes, and keeping the left leg still stretched and grounded on the floor. And then inhale, come back to center, release the leg and switch. Lifting the left leg now. First, interlock the fingers behind the calf muscle. Press the leg into the hands and pull with the hands. Press and pull, press and pull. Tadasana in the right leg. Good. Then grab the big toe with the left. And then from here, open. Keeping the right hand onto your right thigh, pressing it down into the floor. Inhale, come back to center with your right hand grabbing on the outside of your left foot. And then from here, going into a soft twist, and trying to bring the foot to your right armpit so that you're going into a twisted flexion. And the right leg is extended in Tadasana on the ground. Heel is active, pressing to the floor, toes are spread. And then coming back to the center and release. Beautiful. And finding your Shavasana. So if you want to grab any jumper or socks or anything that will accommodate your Shavasana so that you can feel more relaxed in the pose, do that. And now just allowing yourself to be completely relaxed. Letting go, letting go, letting go. And maybe you still feel your whole body vibrating from the practice. Just observe how all the cells are now receptive and open, like the pores of a sponge. And just absorb and taste, acknowledge this energy, different textures, floating through your whole body. So we chose one thing that we wanted to sacrifice during the practice. Take a moment to remind yourself of what I was now in this corpse pose, in the pose of the death. Offer that pain and place it on the altar of life. Burn it in the fire and allow it to dissolve and be transformed. And visualize your whole self now in that fire. Knowing that there is no death as such. There is just a transformation. wherever there is that you're in right now, allow it to just come up to the surface, whatever it is that you feel. The most important is that you are with it. So you are now in that presence, completely aware, tasting each and every moment as it comes in. Very slowly start to bring your attention again to your body as if it was for the very first time. Starting to gently move your fingers, your toes, bend the knees to your chest, and roll to your right side, resting with your head onto your right arm. And just stay here for a few breaths, listening to the mantra. And very slowly, with the help of your hands, press yourself up. Sit up in any position that's comfortable for you. And then with your hands, we make this mudra of bringing the ring finger and the middle finger into our palm of the hand. So it's like Spider-Man. And then from here, bring the hands to the side and start to shake your wrist. And keep shaking the wrist, keep the elbows in the height of the shoulders, the chest open, the heart up, open your throat, and keep shaking the wrist. Keep the fingers, the ones that are extended, lengthened and open. So whenever we go through a transformation, whenever we go to destruction, it's also up to us how do we want to destroy and what does it mean. So we can destroy with awareness, like when you're gardening, taking the weeds out from the garden so that there's space for the new plants. You're not just destroying the whole garden. And keep shaking. one of the qualities as well of all the gods is that they have always a smile on their face. So whenever you destroy, do it with joy. And so that the joy can emerge from this place, from this new place, knowing that what you're doing is with awareness and that it's good. And keep shaking. So you shake till the end of the mantra. Keep the 2 fingers in the eye of the palm of your hand, connecting to the heart meridian. And Shiva also holds in his hand a drum. And this drum is the drum, the rhythm of life. Few more moments. And then from here, start to twist your spine to both directions. Keep shaking. And keep your eyes still closed. And like Shiva in this circle of fire, dancing the dance of cosmic creation. If you want to sing in your room, Namaḥ Śivāya, Namaḥ Śivāya, Namaḥ Śivāya. Do whatever makes you connect to the mantra, to this moment. Last moment, keep shaking. Keep the fingers as they are. Give it your best. Smile. Deep breath. Go, 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 go. And I know your arms are burning. Mine are. But we can go through it. Just a few breaths more. Go, go, go. Yeah. Woo! Maybe shake your head as well for any thoughts of distraction will go away. Yes. How we do here, even the movements are becoming bigger and bigger. Woohoo! Oh yes. Go, go, go. Go, last 2 seconds. The longest mantra of universe. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. I see you. I see you. Beautiful. Oh, okay. Don't get too excited. And now just take your right hand, make a fist, and position it onto your left hand. And the thumb of the right hand facing up. There's the mudra close to your navel. Close your eyes and just be with the breath. And slowly release the hands, release the mudra. Bring the palms one for the other. Inhale. Now the head towards the heart. Namaḥ Śivāya. Okay. So I'm just going to come a little closer to now just hear you all. Okay, chicos, so let's do a little bit of update, a little bit of debrief of what happened in the practice. How do you feel now? What emerged?
So you're all unmuted now?
Thank you. This was beautiful, strong, but kind. And the belt was amazing, especially when when we held it on top like this. Or how do you how do you say it? Like this over the head, It was so powerful, like a warrior. or a dancer and a warrior at the same time. Really, really lovely practice. Thank you, Malvin.
And we can fly.
Well, actually, there's this one.
Malwa, your sound is not okay. We can't hear you very well.
Okay, because I disconnected now with the earphone. But can you still hear me or not?
Very, very far away, very quiet.
You get closer to your computer micro, maybe it's going to be
Is this
easy.
now better?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I just changed the settings here. Okay, so there's this one quote actually that I wanted to read you. Says, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star.
We still can't hear you well.
And if I speak like this?
Yes.
Okay, maybe this is better. Then it says like, it goes like this. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star.
I don't understand.
So it says, one must still have chaos in oneself.
It's
You
what-
still
Chaos. Ah.
chaos. Yes,
Oh.
chaos. So you still must have chaos in oneself in order to be able to give birth to a dancing star. Yeah. And so what we're maybe kind of like the way we're practicing today, it was maybe new things, maybe different things, but in a way when you go into that kind of like a chaos space or realizing that you actually nothing or you don't know anything about anything really, then you can, something new can emerge where you allow yourself to just lose yourself.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what surprised me in this practice is that it was, I would say, kind of intense, but I did not feel like I was getting into, you know, you went to some actions, but it was, I don't know when it started to become intense, you know?
Okay, so even for the ones that were a little bit more tired, was it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Super good.
Yeah, the strap sequence was a brilliant shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. No, it's like whenever I open it, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
great.
And then to actually do the kind of like the vinyasa with it, it just also makes you more work with the legs.
For these,
Yeah.
and I've done side bending and all kinds of things, but I've never done the vinyasa with it. And,
Right. Yeah.
And you do it sometime in the morning sequences. The strap was brilliant.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
I confirm it can be done with a sarong.
Perfect. Perfect. And also with Nataraja, like to go back, it actually gives you a feeling like, oh, okay, so this is how
Yeah, I enjoy it
I would be
so
holding my
much.
foot.
Yeah. That was more difficult.
Right.
I couldn't get it to right with the belt, and then with the scarf, not so much. So I did it with my hands and my foot. Yeah,
Oh, perfect. That's even better. That's actually like the finishing pose.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, I can smell dinner from downstairs. I'm gonna go and eat because I'm starving after this.
Okay, perfect. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Yeah, and just keep writing your notes after the practices as well, because maybe, you know, it's so fresh, it stays so for a while in the memory, and then it goes, you know. And did you also, could you also think of something that you wanted to, let's say, sacrifice
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. I mean, all of these things, you know, they're just like propositions. So also, if you feel like, well, I'm actually okay with myself, I don't need to do anything right now, I'm just perfect. So it's perfect, you know. It's like maybe you're on the, maybe if it's going to be tomorrow the Vishnu god, maybe you'll be like, oh, actually I'm more on the Vishnu vibe right now. So it's also not necessary to always connect or find. That's why these divinities are there in the whole gods pantheon, so we can, you know, also meditate on different gods in different times of our lives as well. So maybe, you know, it's like a proposal, you can connect to this god, but maybe it's also that at that moment you're on a different page.
Yeah. With that, something very strange happened to me. When we went to Shavasana, my mind was racing. I had a really busy day at work. And I've been doing some mantra meditations recently just to focus the mind. So I was thinking, right, I need some mantra. And I wasn't even thinking which one. And the first thing that came to mind was Om Namaḥ Śivāya. And 5 seconds later, it comes on in the mantra, in the song. It gave me shivers. You know, it's not something that normally happens to me. It was just one of those intellectual ones. Right, I need something for my mind, like a chewing gum. And this was the chewing gum, and bang.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, then maybe Shiva
So
is
maybe
not
something
for
to meditate on, right? Because it's calling to me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, Shiva to me, it's like this amazing god, you know, like you can just, they added him in the god pantheon, but actually he is like the oldest one. So it's also the omnipresent absolute anyways. All of them are, but I think he has like this kind of shamanic root of coming from the deep in the forest. And yeah, just the only thing about him that I feel it's amazing is that not only that he's a destroyer, but he's also a creator and also a very content, easy content god. You know, he's like, he doesn't need too much in order to survive. It's like a lesson that he's showing to us, just being content with little things, simple things of life.
I learned from like a special Buddhist master, you know, Indian yogi, that Shiva's number is 5, you know, because I was working in an ashram with my platonic solids and with the dodecahedron. And so, you know, he kind of asked what I was doing, and then, you know, he just didn't say anything. Then at the end, when he hugged me, he said, you know, Shiva's number is 5. And so that's the fifth.
For example, this mantra, Om Namaḥ Śivāya, one of the translations is that it's each syllable is a different element. And so it's 5 elements. So when we invoke this mantra, it's to invoke also to all the elements.
Wow. I'm having to make the articulation, the integration of that Indian thinking and of my own practice with the 5 elements. That's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Great.
That's my 5th element. Here.
Ah, beautiful. Nice. Okay, so yeah, if anything comes up also during the afternoon, the evening that you want to share, or, you know, let us know. And have a great evening other than that. And we see you tomorrow morning for more practice.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Malwa.
Celebrate the Shiva vibe.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Ciao.
Bye.